Tonight I speak to you as one who sees every corner of your heart. I see the places that even you try to ignore, the rooms of your soul where you pushed pain into the shadows and hoped it would stay quiet. I see the tiredness in your thoughts and the heaviness in your body, and I call you by name even here. You have carried guilt like a secret weight for so long that you almost think it is part of who you are. You have become used to feeling broken, and you tell yourself that this is simply your fate. But I want you to know that I see more than your failures. I see the story behind every wound, and I have not turned my face away from you. From the sole of your foot to the top of your head, your inner life has known many blows. Some came from others, some came from your own choices, some came from the coldness of the world, and some came from the lies you believed about yourself. There are bruises in your memories, there are open sores in your emotions, there are places that never really healed, only learned to hide. And you have walked forward as if you were whole while feeling shattered inside. You tell yourself to keep moving, to keep working, to keep pretending everything is fine. You smile when you are expected to smile, and you stay silent when your soul wants to cry out. You put on a face for people and a different face for me, but I do not relate to your mask. I relate to your real heart, to the one that whispers in the dark when no one is listening, and that heart is the one I am speaking to now. Your world around you reflects what is happening within. When the heart is wounded, the relationships begin to crack. When love grows cold, the streets of the soul start to look like burned cities. Dreams lie like ruined houses on the ground of disappointment. The future feels like an empty field stripped bare by strangers, and you ask quietly why life looks so desolate even when you have tried so hard to survive. There were moments when you felt like a small fragile shelter standing alone in the middle of a vast field. The wind of circumstances beat against you. The storms of criticism and rejection shook your walls, and you wondered if one more gust would finally knock you down. But even when you felt that loneliness, I was watching, not as an indifferent judge, but as one who wanted to rebuild your life from the foundation upward with my own hands. You have tried to fix the emptiness by doing more, by offering more effort, by multiplying your sacrifices in different areas of life, sometimes even in spiritual habits. You thought that if you prayed enough with fear rather than trust, if you performed enough rituals without letting your heart be honest, then maybe I would be impressed and forget the pain that still lives inside. But I am not seeking the sound of empty motions. I am seeking the sound of a sincere heart turning toward me. I am not comforted by hollow offerings. I am not healed by the noise of words that carry no trust. Long prayers spoken with a distant heart do not move me the way a single quiet sigh of surrender can. I do not need you to perform holiness for me. I desire you to open your real self to me, the parts that cannot pretend anymore, the parts that are tired of acting strong. There have been times when you lifted your hands outwardly yet kept your heart far from me, times when your lips said that you believed, but your inner thoughts were filled with suspicion toward my goodness. You wondered if I would truly listen. You wondered if I cared. You wondered if you had already gone too far, and so your prayers became a habit instead of a living conversation, and that habit left you hungry. Listen to me, my child. I am not inviting you into a performance. I am inviting you into a washing. I am calling you not to impress me, but to let me cleanse you. Wash and make yourselves clean does not mean you must fix yourself before coming near me. It means come to me with all that is dirty and confused and let my truth and my love wash over your mind, your memories, your choices, your way of seeing yourself and others. There's a way of life you have learned from pain, a way that says protect yourself at all costs. Close your heart to avoid hurt. Stand above others so you will not feel small. Compete so you will not be forgotten. But this way has only deepened your loneliness. It has turned you inward until compassion has grown thin, and you look at the oppressed, the fatherless, the widow, the broken ones near you, and you feel almost nothing because your own wounds have occupied all your attention. Yet I tell you this, when your heart learns to do good, when you begin to seek justice not as a slogan but as a way of seeing every person as precious, when you defend those who have no voice, when you take the hand of the forgotten, then something in you begins to heal, for you are created to love. And when you move with me toward the weak, the chains of your own past begin to loosen without you even noticing. You have thought that your life is judged only by your visible sins, by the obvious failures that people can point at. But I also see the hidden corruption, the subtle ways your values were diluted, how what you once called sacred slowly became negotiable, how what you once knew was wrong became acceptable when it was convenient, how your heart that once felt soft and tender toward me turned into something like stone bit by bit, without a single dramatic moment, only through many small compromises. The city of your soul was meant to be faithful, meant to be a place where justice lives, where mercy walks through the streets, where truth is not for sale. Yet piece by piece that city was seduced. Your inner rulers, your decisions, your priorities, they became like partners with thieves, willing to trade integrity for comfort, willing to neglect the lonely and the weak so that reputation or profit or temporary pleasure could be protected. But even as I describe this to you, I am not speaking these words to destroy you. I am speaking them to wake you. I am like a refiner who sees silver covered in dross. I know that beneath the layers of compromise there is still something precious, something that belonged to me from the beginning. And I am committed to passing you through the fire of truth, not to burn you away, but to burn away what has clung to you and is not truly you. When I say that I will turn my hand against the dross, it is not an act of hatred toward your existence. It is an act of love toward your true self. I resist what is false in you because I long to see the real you stand in the light. The you that can love without fear, the you that can walk without chains, the you that can look at your own story without despair, because you know I have entered it with you. So let me tell you a story about a vineyard. Think of it not as something far away in history, but as the inner field of your own life. I chose a fertile hill. I prepared the soil with care. I removed the stones of past curses and family patterns. I planted you with intention. I surrounded you with protection. I watched over you in seasons where you did not even know my name, and I waited for the fruit that would come from all that care. Instead of sweet fruit, you often tasted your own harvest and found it bitter. You bore resentment where there could have been forgiveness. You bore jealousy where there could have been gratitude. You bore self-hatred where there could have been patient growth. You returned to ways of coping that you already knew would not satisfy, and you asked silently, what is wrong with me? Why is my heart like this? Why do I keep repeating the same patterns? I do not ask you this question to shame you. I ask you to see what I see, that a vineyard cannot live on intention alone. If you plant seeds of bitterness, you will harvest more bitterness. If you water your fears with constant focus, they will grow like thick vines choking your joy. If you allow certain voices in your life to speak louder than mine, then their words will shape your branches more than my promise does. And the fruit that appears will expose what has been feeding your roots. Sometimes I allow hedges to be removed, walls to be broken, illusions to crumble. Not because I enjoy your pain, but because the false supports were keeping you from seeing the truth. If you trust in what is destroying you, then my love must confront it. If you cling to what is killing your soul, I will not bless that. And when the rain seems to stop for a season and the soil feels dry, it is not always rejection. Sometimes it is an invitation to ask deeper questions about what you have been growing. There are voices in this world that tell you to keep adding house to house and field to field, to chase more possessions, more space, more recognition, until you are surrounded by things and yet starved of meaning. They teach you that value is measured only by expansion and never by depth. But I am not impressed by abundance without love. I am not dazzled by success that crushes others. I see when the inside is empty, even if the outside looks large. There are also voices that call you to numb yourself, to rise early chasing distraction and stay up late drowning your thoughts so that you do not feel the ache inside. Music becomes noise, celebration becomes escape, and the more you run from your inner questions, the more hollow the laughter sounds. Yet even there I am near, watching you pretend you are fine, longing for the moment when you admit your thirst so that I can offer water that does not fade with the night. When people call evil good and good evil, when darkness is renamed as freedom and light is mocked as foolishness, your heart becomes confused and tired. You start to doubt your own sense of right and wrong. You wonder if kindness is weakness and selfishness is wisdom. You watch others profit from untruth and you ask whether your desire to be honest is naive. And in this confusion your soul becomes like a room with the lights turned off, where you bump into your own furniture and keep getting hurt. I am not here to crush you under the weight of judgment. I am here to remind you that truth still exists, that there is a path that leads to life and not to destruction, that there are choices that align you with love instead of violence, that you can learn again to call things by their real names, to reject the lie that everything is the same and nothing matters. Because you matter, your choices matter, your heart matters to me. When you experience consequences for your actions, when what you have built on falsehood begins to collapse, do not interpret every shaking as abandonment. Sometimes the shaking is mercy. Sometimes the collapse is the closing of a path that would have led you far from me into a deeper emptiness. Sometimes your frustration is actually the fence that keeps you from walking off a cliff. And though you do not always see it yet, my hand is still working for your rescue. You ask within yourself why life sometimes feels like a field scorched by fire where only ashes remain. Why people you trusted failed you. Why opportunities you hoped for disappeared. Why the structures you leaned on turned out to be brittle. And in those moments you are tempted to think that everything is random and cruel. But I tell you that even when human choices cause real suffering, I am still able to bring a better story out of the ruins if you will place the ruins in my hands. You look at the world and see injustice. You see the poor ignored, the powerless exploited, the loud rewarded while the gentle are forgotten. You see systems that seem rigged against the vulnerable, and you feel both anger and exhaustion. You wonder if doing good even matters, if seeking justice is a foolish dream, and you are tempted to withdraw into a small private life where you only survive and no longer care about anything beyond your own walls. Yet I whisper to you this: when you defend the oppressed even in small ways, when you choose honesty instead of corruption in your daily decisions, when you show kindness where it is not required, when you listen to someone who is normally silenced, in those moments you are planting different seeds in your vineyard. They may look small, almost invisible, but they are the beginning of a new harvest, and your soul will taste the sweetness of that fruit in time. I know there are parts of you that feel like a faithful city turned unfaithful, parts where you once walked close with me and now feel distant, areas of your life where you once had clear convictions and now you feel compromised. But I am not standing outside those walls with disgust. I am walking through those broken streets with compassion, seeing every corner, naming every wound, and planning restoration where you can only see failure. I will restore your sense of justice. I will rebuild the gates where fear entered. I will cleanse the places where guilt has stained your memory. I will teach you again how to live as one who is loved and not as one who is always on trial. But this restoration is not mechanical. It is relational. It happens as you walk with me day by day, as you allow my truth to challenge your habits and my love to soften your defenses. You may think that my words are heavy, but listen deeply and you will hear the tenderness beneath them. When I confront your sin, I am also confronting the pain that sin has caused you. I am confronting every lie that told you that you were beyond hope, every shame that told you to hide from me, every fear that said I would never want you close again. And my voice over all these lies is simple: come, let us reason together. Let us sit with your story in my presence. Let us look at your stains and your scars without running away. Though your sins feel like a deep blood red, though you look at your past and see bright marks of regret, I am able to make you clean, not by erasing your history, but by entering it. By writing mercy over every page where condemnation once shouted, by turning even your darkest chapters into testimonies of how far my love was willing to go to bring you home, and slowly you will look at yourself differently, not as a hopeless case, but as one who has been rescued. If you are willing and not resisting, if you stop fighting my voice and instead lean into it, if you allow my light to enter even the corners you are most ashamed of, you will eat what is good, not just in the physical sense, but in the sense of inner nourishment. You will taste peace instead of constant anxiety. You will taste freedom instead of constant bondage. You will taste the joy of knowing that your life is not a meaningless accident, but a story I am personally involved in. But if you insist on building your life against my ways, if you cling to the patterns that are destroying you, if you love the chains more than the freedom I offer, then you will continue to feel devoured by life. Not because I delight in your pain, but because turning away from me is turning away from the source of life itself, and no heart can thrive when it is cut off from the one who made it. Tonight I am not forcing you, I am inviting you. You are not a machine that I reprogram without your consent. You are a beloved soul whom I respect enough to address honestly. I lay before you the reality of your wounds and the possibility of your healing. I show you the broken city and the plans for its rebuilding. I speak of the bitter vineyard and the dream of sweet fruit, and I ask you to listen not with fear, but with hope. Let this be the beginning of a different conversation between us. No longer a performance where you offer me empty words while hiding your true self, but a real encounter where you bring me your confusion, your questions that you cannot put into sentences, your regrets that you barely dare to name, your desires that you have buried under years of disappointment. Bring them all. Sit with me, breathe slowly, and let my presence begin to untie the knots inside you. You are not beyond my reach. Your guilt is not greater than my mercy. Your corruption is not deeper than my ability to renew. Your stained history is not stronger than my cross and my resurrection. I have already stepped into the judgment that hung over you. I have already carried the weight that was crushing you, and now I stand before you not as an accuser, but as a savior inviting you to walk with me into a new day. So rest for a moment in these words. Let them move softly through your mind. Let them settle like gentle rain on a dry field. You do not have to fix everything tonight. You do not have to solve every problem at once. You only need to say in the quiet of your heart that you are willing to let me come closer, that you are ready to let me speak to your wounds, and that you believe, even if only a little, that I am for you and not against you. As you breathe in and breathe out, know that I am here. I have seen the desolation and I am not afraid of it. I have heard the unspoken cry and I do not ignore it. I have walked through the ruins of many souls and I know how to rebuild. And I promise you this, the story of your life will not end in ashes if you place your ashes in my hands. For I am the one who brings beauty out of what was broken, and I am not finished with you yet. There is a moment in every sincere heart when you stop speaking about me and begin to look toward me, when the words grow quiet and there is only awareness, a sense that you are standing before something pure and high and different from everything you know. You may not have language for it, but your soul feels it as a trembling stillness. When you draw near to that holy stillness, you begin to see not only my greatness, but also your own need. You become aware of the ways your lips have spoken carelessly, the ways your thoughts have wandered into bitterness and envy, the ways your habits have shaped your days without asking whether they align with love. And in that awareness you can feel very small and very exposed. You may think that if you ever truly saw my holiness you would only be crushed, but listen to me. My holiness is not against you. My holiness is the burning purity of my love. It is the fire that refuses to coexist forever with what destroys you. It is the light that shines into your darkness not to shame you, but to show you that I am larger than your shadows. There was a man once who saw a vision of my glory, high and lifted up, the train of my robe filling the temple, the air full of worship, holy spoken again and again until the walls shook and the ground trembled. And under the weight of that beauty his first confession was that his lips were unclean and that his people were unclean. He did not brag in that moment. He simply saw the truth. You know something of that feeling. When you glimpse even a faint sense of my reality, your pretenses fall, your excuses lose power. You realize that you have said things that wounded others. You have used your tongue to defend your image rather than to defend the weak. You have allowed gossip and complaint to flow more freely than gratitude and blessing, and in that realization you are tempted to hide. Yet in that old vision I did not leave the man in despair. I sent a messenger with a live coal, taken from the altar, and that coal touched his lips, the place he felt most unworthy, the place he confessed as unclean, and the message to his heart was simple: your guilt is taken away, your sin is atoned for. The same mouth that once spoke carelessly is now touched by fire for a new purpose. Think about this for your own life. The areas where you feel most ashamed can become the very places where my healing is most evident. The memories you want to erase can become testimonies of mercy. The weaknesses you hide can become doors where my strength enters. I do not expose your brokenness to leave you ruined. I touch it with living grace to begin a different story. You have said about yourself that you are not worthy to speak for me, not worthy to love in my name, not worthy to carry hope to others. And in one sense you are right. No one earns such a calling, but I am the one who calls, and I delight to choose those who know their own need, because their words can carry humility, and their hearts can stay soft as I use them. There comes a time after cleansing when I ask, who will go, who will stand, who will carry a message of truth and comfort into a world that is confused and afraid? I do not shout this question into the void. I speak it into your heart, into long nights where you have wrestled with meaning, into quiet rooms where you have asked if your life matters beyond survival, and my invitation waits there gently. You imagine that those who say yes to me are always bold and flawless, but many of them started as trembling souls who simply whispered that they were willing. Here I am, use me as you desire. I know my past, but I trust your mercy more than my shame. I know my fears, but I trust your presence more than my limitations. And in that small yes I began to weave their lives into something new. There are seasons when the message I give feels heavy, words of warning, calls to turn away from paths that end in destruction, honesty about the consequences of pride and injustice. But even such words are rooted in love. A doctor who sees a spreading sickness and says nothing is not kind. Love sometimes must say this road leads to harm. Turn back before it is too late. You look at the world and see nations swirling with plans, leaders making calculations, alliances formed from fear and ambition, and somewhere inside you can feel the same patterns. You also make secret deals in your heart, trying to find security apart from me, placing your hope in people or systems or numbers that promise control. Yet none of these are stable foundations for the soul. In the days of old there was a king who shook with fear because armies gathered around him. Instead of resting in my promise, he ran toward other powers, hoping that human strength would shield him from danger. His heart did not trust that I was real and present. He only saw the visible threat and the visible sources of protection, and so he chose compromise over faith. I spoke then and I still speak now. If you do not stand firm in trust, you will not stand at all. When circumstances pressure you, your heart will lean on what it believes is most solid. If you believe that power and manipulation are your safest refuge, you will cling to them even when they poison you. If you believe that I am distant and uncaring, you will not turn to me when you most need help. Yet even when my people doubted, I spoke a promise that a sign of my faithfulness would come, a child, a simple fragile life, born not into luxury but into humility, a presence named God with us, not God far above you, not God indifferent to you, but God with you, stepping into your history, your pain, your questions, walking dusty roads, touching unclean hands, speaking words that carried both truth and tenderness. In the darkness of your own life, this promise is still alive. When you feel abandoned, when you feel that your prayers hit a ceiling and fall back, when you walk through long stretches of silence, remember this: I did not stay far away. I entered the story from the inside. I know loneliness, betrayal, exhaustion. I have felt tears on my own face, and I can stand beside you in your night with more than sympathy. I stand with understanding. There is also a word about light that shines in deep night. People walking in darkness have seen a great light. This is not just poetry for ancient times. It is description for many hearts even now. You walk through days filled with information and entertainment, but inside there is still shadow, confusion, fear about the future, shame about the past. And you call that normal because so many live this way. When my light dawns, it does not always come with noise and spectacle. Often it begins quietly, like the faint glow on the horizon before the sun rises fully. It may start as a gentle awareness that you are not alone, a small warmth when you hear my words, a moment of clarity in which you see a destructive pattern and feel the power to choose differently. Do not despise these beginnings. They are the first rays of a new day. You have grown used to thinking of your life as something fixed, a story already written by your failures and the failures of others. But I look at you and see room for expansion. I see space for joy to increase. I see the possibility for your heart to rejoice as someone who has just stepped into harvest after a long season of sowing and tears. I see the burden on your shoulders shattered like a brittle yoke. There are forces that have oppressed you inwardly, voices that told you that you were not enough. Memories that repeated the message that you will always lose. Internal rods that beat you each time you tried to hope. These are not my voice. These are echoes of old chains. And when I rise in your life, I break these rods. I snap these yokes. I do not want you to live forever as a prisoner of thoughts that lie about your worth. Long ago I spoke of a child born and a son given, of a government resting on his shoulders, titles of wonder and strength and endless peace. You may have heard those words many times and think of them only as distant prophecy, but let them come close to your heart now. This child is not only a figure in history, he is my heart made visible, my peace made personal, my wisdom walking among wounded people. When you invite me to rule in your inner world, it is like placing your anxieties, your decisions, your relationships onto my shoulders, not to escape responsibility, but to receive guidance. You are no longer alone trying to hold everything upright. You begin to learn how to live in a kingdom that is not shaken every time circumstances shift. A kingdom where peace is not an occasional visitor but a growing atmosphere. My peace is not the absence of conflict around you. It is the presence of stability within you. It is the quiet confidence that even if storms rage, there is a center in you where I sit, steady and unafraid. My peace does not deny pain. It embraces it and says you are not defined by this moment. You are held by one who sees beyond this moment. You are anchored in a love that is not fragile. I know that when you look at the world you see constant turmoil, nations in tension, communities fractured, families divided, and you wonder if any promise of peace can be more than a beautiful wish. You may even mock your own longing for harmony because reality feels so harsh. But I tell you that my promise is deeper than political calm. It is the slow but certain work of renewing hearts, one by one, until they learn to walk in my ways instead of in cycles of revenge. You may think your own small life cannot matter in that grand plan. Yet each heart that lets my peace rule instead of anger, each person who chooses forgiveness instead of retaliation, each soul that learns to listen before judging, becomes a seed of a different future. My kingdom often grows quietly, not through noise and display, but through countless hidden acts of faithfulness that I see and cherish. There is something else I want you to understand. When I speak of a remnant, a small group preserved when many turn away, I am not only talking about numbers in history, I am also talking about the part of your own heart that still desires me, even when other parts are tired or rebellious. There remains a small place inside you that knows I am good, that longs to trust me more, that feels a tug toward my presence when everything else falls silent. I pay attention to that small part. I do not despise it because it seems weak. I protect it. I breathe on it. I water it with gentle words, until it begins to grow again. Sometimes you only see how far you have drifted. But I see that tiny response deep within you, the spark that has not been extinguished, and from that spark I can light a new fire if you will let me. The path ahead of you will not always be smooth. There will still be days of struggle and nights of wrestling. There will still be choices where you must decide whether to walk by fear or by trust. But you will not walk alone. I will teach you to recognize my voice. You will hear a quiet guiding within, saying this is the way, walk in it. When you are about to turn into old harmful patterns, my spirit will gently nudge you toward a different step. You may feel at times that my instructions are too simple for a complicated world. Trust. Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly, keep your heart soft, resist pride, care for the vulnerable, turn away from deceit. Yet these simple directions have depth beyond your imagination. They align you with the grain of my creation. They position you where my blessing can rest. They shape you into someone who reflects my character in the middle of a broken age. When you stumble, and you will stumble sometimes, remember the coal that touched the lips of the man who felt ruined. Remember that it was I who initiated his cleansing. I did not wait for him to rise to my level. I came down to where he stood. I acknowledged his confession, and I applied grace to the very area he thought disqualified him. I am consistent. I do the same for you, again and again, when you turn back to me with honesty. You do not need to build a throne for me with your own perfection. My throne is already secure. What I desire from you is not a performance of flawlessness, but a life that stays open, quick to admit when it is wrong, quick to receive forgiveness, quick to extend forgiveness to others, quick to return when it has wandered. Such a heart is a place where I love to dwell. There will be times when you feel my correction, and you may be tempted to interpret it as rejection, but correction is a sign of closeness. I do not leave those I love to walk forever in paths that hurt them and others. My discipline is not cold punishment. It is the firm hand of a father guiding a child away from danger. I may allow you to feel the emptiness of certain choices so that you will hunger for something real. I want you to imagine your life as part of a larger story, not just a series of disconnected days. There was darkness, and into that darkness I have spoken light. There was wandering, and into that wandering I have offered guidance. There was deep inner war, and into that war I have offered the presence of the Prince of Peace. You are not lost in a random universe. You are walking through a narrative where I am both author and companion. Even now as you listen, take a slow breath and let your shoulders relax. You do not have to understand everything at once. You do not have to feel holy to be drawn near. You do not have to know the full map to take one step of trust. All I ask in this moment is that you acknowledge the light you have received so far, however small, and that you are willing for that light to grow. Say in your heart, without many words, that you are willing to see more, willing to let my holiness search you without running away, willing to let my coal of grace touch places you believed were beyond repair, willing to walk forward not in your own strength but in my presence. And as you do this, even silently, my spirit moves. My kingdom comes a little more fully into the landscape of your soul. You are a beloved child standing before a holy God, and yet because of my love you are not consumed. You are invited, you are addressed, you are seen, and you are being transformed, slowly, patiently, deeply, into someone who can carry light into dark places, hope into weary hearts, and peace into rooms that have known too much noise. This is my desire for you, and I will not abandon the work I have begun. There are paths you have taken that were shaped more by fear than by faith. You looked around at what others were doing and you copied their ways because you felt small and exposed. You thought that if you could belong to a strong group or hide behind a powerful person then you would be safe. But inside you still felt fragile and tired. You have built secret alliances in your heart, trusts that did not involve me, agreements with anxiety that said worry will protect me, agreements with bitterness that said anger will keep me from being hurt again, agreements with pride that said distance will keep me from being despised. Each of these agreements has promised you shelter, but they have left you lonely. When your heart feels threatened, you often run back to these same places, like someone who returns to a ruined house because it is familiar. You know the walls are cracked, you know the roof leaks, but it is what you know. And so you sit in the cold and tell yourself that there is no other home for you, yet all the while I am near, calling you out into a different kind of safety. I have watched you trust in human strength more than in my presence. You have lifted up plans that never asked for my wisdom. You have leaned on numbers and calculations and predictions. And yet when the storm came, those supports crumbled. Not because I hated you, but because I will not allow lies to carry the weight that only truth can hold. People will always be limited. Their hearts change, their power shifts, their promises falter, their vision is as short as their own lifetime. But I am not limited in that way. I am not a passing ruler. I am not a temporary shelter. I am the one who was before you were born and who will remain when every human structure has fallen silent, and I invite you to root your trust in me. There is a deep weariness that comes from trying to save yourself, from constantly watching for danger, from secretly believing that everything depends on your effort. You wake up already tired. You go to sleep still carrying the weight of tomorrow. You do not know how to rest because your heart never truly feels held, only driven. I have spoken a simple sentence over you, and quietness and trust is your strength, yet you have often said in your heart, no, my strength is in my speed, in my ability to run away, to think faster, to work harder, to escape before pain reaches me. You have chosen fast horses in your mind, and they have carried you in circles rather than into peace. When you insist on running from my invitation, even your speed becomes your prison. The more you flee, the more you fear. The more you fear, the more you cling to old defenses. And every new strategy built on fear eventually breaks and leaves you more exhausted than before. This is why I keep calling you back to stillness, not as punishment, but as medicine. Quietness before me is not empty. It is not useless. It is the space where your heart can finally hear what is true, where your thoughts slow down enough to notice my presence, where your breathing becomes a prayer, where your tears become honest instead of hidden. It is the place where I can touch you without you running away. Trust is not pretending that everything feels fine. Trust is choosing to place the weight of your life into my hands even while your feelings are still trembling. Trust is saying with your heart, I do not see how this will work for my good, yet I choose to believe that you are not careless with my story. I choose to believe that you are wiser than my fear. There are times when you look at your circumstances and conclude that I am far away. You see delayed answers and you interpret them as rejection. You see doors closed and you interpret them as abandonment. But sometimes I allow delay so that your roots can grow deeper. Sometimes I say no to a lesser thing so that I can lead you towards something truer. I am not a distant planner moving pieces on a board without feeling. I am a father who longs to be gracious. I am a friend who waits for your voice. I am a shepherd who knows how to lead even stubborn sheep back to water and rest. I am not waiting to see you fail so that I can judge you. I am waiting to see you turn so that I can embrace you. When you cry out to me with sincerity, I hear you. even when your words are broken, even when your thoughts wander, even when your faith feels as small as a single breath. I do not measure the beauty of your prayer by its grammar. I look at the direction of your heart. If it turns toward me, I move toward you with compassion. Still, there are idols you must throw away, not statues of stone perhaps, but inner images and false loves that claim your attention and loyalty. You have bowed to the idea that success will finally make you whole. You have bowed to the dream that one relationship will heal every wound. You have bowed to the lie that control will keep you from hurt. These are modern altars, but they are altars just the same. When you begin to see them for what they are, shiny chains not treasures, I invite you to cast them aside, not politely, but decisively, to look at what you once adored and say, "Away with you, you cannot save me, you cannot tell me who I am, you cannot carry my future. I choose to turn my face to the one who loved me before I could offer him anything." As you remove these idols from the center of your heart, space is created for my rain to fall, for my seed to grow, for my word to take root in you, and then your life begins to change from the inside out, not through violent effort, but through quiet transformation, thought by thought, habit by habit, day by day. You will notice that your inner land starts to look different. Places that felt dry begin to soften. Hopes that were buried begin to rise like small green shoots. You begin to desire what is good rather than constantly wrestling only with what is wrong. You start to hunger for my presence more than for empty distraction, and in that hunger I feed you. I do not promise you a life without storms. I promise you a shelter that remains when the storm passes. I do not promise you a path without wounds. I promise you a healer who walks beside you. I do not promise you that others will always understand you. I promise you that I understand you fully and will not abandon you in your confusion. There is a fire of my holiness that burns against what destroys, but there is also a fire of my love that warms and purifies. The same flame that judges cruelty and oppression is the flame that melts the ice around your heart. The same light that exposes injustice in the world is the light that reveals truth in your thoughts. And if you welcome that light, you will not be consumed. You will be renewed. You see injustice all around you. You see those who crush the poor, those who twist truth for gain, those who boast in their power and laugh at the weak, and your heart cries out for fairness. You feel anger, you feel sorrow, you wonder if anyone sees. I tell you that I see every act of cruelty and every hidden tear. The world is not abandoned to chance. My judgment over nations and systems is not separated from my care for individual souls. When I speak against oppression, I am also speaking on behalf of the one who feels voiceless. When I confront greed, I am also defending the simple and the humble. My justice is not a concept. It is the breath of my heart moving through history to set things right. Yet while I promise that I will deal with evil on a large scale, I also invite you to consider the small scale within you. If you want justice around you, allow justice to be formed inside you. If you long for mercy for the broken, allow mercy to live in the way you speak. If you want honesty from leaders, allow honesty in your own decisions. This is how you walk with me in a crooked world. You may say that your impact is too small to matter, that you are just one person, that your choices are like drops in a violent sea, but a drop of clean water is still clean. A light in a dark room still pushes back darkness. A quiet act of integrity still delights my heart. The world may not record your name, but I am not the world. I am your Lord, and I remember. There will be times when fear whispers that I am against you because you face hardship. But look again. Many hardships are the natural result of a broken creation. Many are the result of human choices, your own and others. Some are the result of my loving correction. But none of these mean that I have turned my face away from you. The cross stands as my answer to that lie forever. At the cross I entered into the deepest place of human pain, rejection, injustice, physical agony, spiritual darkness. I drank the cup of suffering that did not belong to me so that you would never be alone in your suffering. When you ache, I do not stand above you in cold purity. I stand beside you as one who has known what it means to be pierced and misunderstood. Because of that sacrifice, your guilt no longer has the final word about you. Your shame no longer has the right to chain you. Accusations may still come from your own thoughts, from the enemy of your soul, from the memories of others. But over all these voices I speak a stronger word, the word that says forgiven, the word that says beloved, the word that says mine. So when you feel condemned, do not run away into old hiding places. Run toward me. Bring your failures honestly. Lay them down at my feet without excuses. And listen as I remind you that my blood has already answered the charge against you. Listen as I lift your head from the dust and call you child again. Not servant in chains, but child invited home. I have prepared for you an inner place of feasting even while the world shakes, a table of peace in the middle of chaos, a cup of joy in the presence of your enemies. I invite you to that table now, not after you have perfected yourself, but in the middle of your journey, in the middle of your questions, in the middle of your unfinished healing. Sit with me in the quiet of your room, or as you walk down a busy street, or as you lie awake in the night, and picture yourself at this table, my eyes on you with kindness, my hands extended without accusation, my voice speaking not rush and demand, but calm and invitation. Let your heart breathe there. Let your soul remember that you are not abandoned. You are learning slowly to walk in my light, to trust my heart, to release your idols, to let go of alliances that never protected you, to live not as one who must fight alone but as one who is carried and guided. Do not despise the slowness of this learning. I am patient with you. I am more patient than you are with yourself, and I will complete the good work that I have begun. Rest tonight in this simple truth. You are seen, you are known, you are corrected because you are loved. You are invited even when you feel unworthy. You are carried even when you feel weak. Your story is not a random trail of pain. It is a journey that I am redeeming, step by step, breath by breath, day by day, as you walk with me. There are seasons in history when the weight of human violence and pride becomes very heavy on the earth, when whole nations chase after power and abandon compassion, when the poor are crushed and the weak are forgotten. In those seasons many look up and ask in silence if I still see and if I still care. Your own heart feels that heaviness when you hear of injustice again and again. I tell you as your Lord and as your friend, I do see, I do care. There is a line I will not allow evil to cross forever. My patience is not approval. My silence at times is not agreement. I am giving room for hearts to turn. But I will not let cruelty rule without an answer forever. This is true for nations, and it is also true for the hidden corners of every soul. You hear words like judgment and you may feel only fear. You imagine a distant throne and a harsh voice. But my judgment is first of all my yes to what is good and my no to what destroys. My judgment is my refusal to call darkness light, my refusal to say that greed is wisdom, my refusal to let lies be the last story told over my creation. When I shake what humans have built, it is not because I enjoy ruin, it is because so much has been built on sand, on pride, on exploitation, on forgetfulness of me, on forgetfulness of the poor and the broken. If I allowed those structures to stand forever, the suffering would never end. So at times I allow what is fragile and false to fall, so that what is true can be seen. The earth itself groans under the weight of human rebellion. The land is misused. The gifts I gave are hoarded. The beauty of creation is consumed without gratitude. The world becomes noisy with celebration that forgets kindness and holiness. Yet even as the songs of the reckless fade, I am preparing a different feast, a banquet for those who trust in me. I have promised a day when I will wipe away tears from every face. A day when death will no longer be the final word. A day when disgrace will be removed from my people. This is not a fantasy to comfort children. It is the deep intention of my heart. And every act of mercy, every moment of forgiveness, every healing you glimpse now is a small light from that coming day. You live between times. Between the brokenness that still wounds you and the restoration that I have promised. In this in-between place you feel tension. Part of you rejoices in my goodness. Part of you aches from what is not yet healed. I understand this tension. I walked in it as I moved among people who were sick and lonely and proud and hungry. I saw both the pain and the potential of every heart. When you see the world shaken, when you hear of wars and disasters, do not let your heart be swallowed by terror. Let it be awakened. Let it remember that this world is not your final home. Let it stir in you a deeper longing for things that cannot be taken, for a kingdom that cannot be shaken, for a peace that does not vanish with the next storm. I am your rock eternal, but notice what that means. It means that while everything else changes, I remain. While empires rise and fall, I remain. While trends come and go, I remain. While your own feelings rise and sink, I remain. You are invited to plant your trust in that unchanging love, not in the shifting moods of the age around you. There is a song that will be sung, a song of a strong city whose walls are salvation, not pride, not weapons, not wealth, but salvation, a city where the gates are open to those who keep faith, where peace is not a thin layer on top of fear but the deep climate of every heart. I am already preparing you to live in that kind of reality, even while you still walk in this present world. I will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on me. This is my promise, not to the flawless, but to those who choose to turn their thoughts toward me again and again. When anxiety comes, you bring it to me. When shame rises, you bring it to me. When anger burns, you bring it to me. And in that steady turning you learn how to rest in a love that does not abandon you. You may say that peace like that is impossible for you, because your past is heavy and your mistakes are many. But my peace is not a reward for good performance. My peace is a gift that flows from my character. I know everything about you, and still I invite you to trust me. I know the story behind every wound, every fear, every hard word you have spoken, and still I draw near. Those who once ruled over you in the shadows of your heart, the old memories, the old addictions, the old condemnations, they are not your masters anymore when you belong to me. They may still whisper, they may still press, but they do not have legal authority over your identity. I have named you. I have claimed you. I have sealed you as my own. Other lords besides me have ruled you, voices of fear, voices of human opinion, voices of culture and pressure. But my desire is that my name alone would be the one you honor at the core of your being, not because I am insecure, but because I am the only one who can carry your worship without abusing it. Every other lord you serve will use you. I alone will heal you. You feel sometimes as if your prayers are weak and your efforts have failed to change the world. But you do not see everything I am doing through your hidden faithfulness, your quiet choices of integrity, your unseen acts of kindness, your willingness to forgive when no one applauds. I weave these into a story far larger than the part you can see. Think of a woman in labor. She groans, she trembles, she feels as if she will break, yet something new is being born through that pain. In the same way, much of what you experience as pressure and shaking in your life is part of a birth process you cannot fully grasp yet. I am bringing forth something more mature in you, a deeper trust, a wider compassion, a clearer wisdom. You may feel as if you have labored and given birth only to wind, as if your efforts have produced nothing, as if your prayers have gone nowhere. But I tell you, nothing offered to me in humility is wasted. No tear, no small surrender, no whispered yes. I gather them, I remember them, I shape them into fruit you will often only see later. There will come a time when the dead will live, when bodies laid in dust will rise, when graves will no longer be the end of the story. I want you to carry this hope not as a cold doctrine but as a warm fire. When you stand by graves, when you remember those you have lost, when you feel the closeness of your own mortality, remember that I am the Lord of resurrection, not only of memory. Until that day, I sometimes invite you to hide for a little while, to step aside from noise and argument, to close the door and meet me in secret, not because I want you to be afraid of the world, but because in that quiet shelter I can strengthen your heart again. The storm outside may still rage, but the storm inside begins to calm as you rest in my presence. You live in a world where monsters of chaos still seem to move, systems that devour, lies that coil around truth, fears that feel like serpents in the dark. But even these I have named and limited. They are not equal to me. They are not hidden from me. In the end, my sword of truth and my fire of holiness will overcome every force that seeks to destroy my creation. I sing over my vineyard, and that vineyard is my people, and that vineyard includes you. I have cleared stones from your life. I have planted you with care. I have watched for grapes of justice and kindness. Yet many times I saw only sour fruit of selfishness and harm. Even so, I have not stopped tending you. My purpose is not to abandon you, but to teach you how to bear good fruit. Good fruit in your life is not a performance to impress me. It is the natural result of my life flowing through you. When you stay close to me, when you listen, when you let my words dwell in you, you begin to act differently without forcing yourself into a mask. Your habits change from the inside. Your reactions soften. Your patience grows. Your generosity becomes more free. There are woes spoken over those who add house to house and field to field, who live only to accumulate more, who drink and sing and entertain themselves without ever considering the work of my hands. These words are not for some distant people only. They are a mirror for every age. I invite you to ask yourself gently, where have I chased more and forgotten meaning? I am not against joy. I am the source of joy. But I am against the kind of pleasure that deadens your compassion, that blinds you to the suffering of others, that makes you forget that all you have is gift. When you drink deeply of my joy, it does not close your eyes to pain. It opens your heart to love. It teaches you to celebrate in a way that honors both me and your neighbor. There is a broken logic in the human heart that calls evil good and good evil, that trades light for darkness and sweetness for bitterness. You see this around you and you feel its pull within you. When you excuse what you know is wrong, when you mock what is tender and pure, when you admire those who are clever in cruelty, my spirit within you grieves. Because this is not what you were made for. You were created to live in truth, to walk in brightness, to delight in what is noble, to stand with the innocent, to protect the vulnerable, to speak words that heal. When you step into that calling, even in small ways, your soul feels more at home. You may still face opposition, but inside there is a quiet sense that you are aligned with the deep heart of God. Often my anger in Scripture frightens you, but understand this. My anger is the sorrow and fire of a love that sees beloved ones destroying themselves and others. My anger is not the rage of a tyrant. It is the grief of a father who watches children run toward a cliff. When I discipline, I aim at rescue. When I expose, I aim at restoration. I sometimes raise up forces in history that expose the hollowness of human pride, armies that reveal the weakness of false security, events that show how fragile your idols are. And when this happens, some harden their hearts even more, but others wake up. And I am always near to those who wake up, always ready to catch the one who begins to fall toward humility. In every generation I preserve a remnant, a people who refuse to bow fully to the spirit of the age, who hold to my word even when it is unpopular, who seek my face even when it seems I am silent. You may be part of that remnant in ways you do not realize. Each time you choose my way instead of the easy way of compromise, you stand as a small light in a dark time. Do not despise small faith. Do not mock your own weakness. Do not say that you are too broken to matter. Offer me what you have, your mustard seed of trust, your little loaves of time and energy, your fragile yes. I am the one who multiplies. I am the one who strengthens. I am the one who breathes on what you surrender and turns it into blessing beyond what you can measure. There is a vision of animals living in peace, of predators no longer devouring, of a child safe among once dangerous creatures. This picture is more than imagery. It is a sign of my ultimate intention. Harmony where there was hostility, trust where there was fear, gentleness where there was violence. And this vision begins to take shape inside you as my spirit works, even before it fills the whole earth. When you allow my spirit to soften you, the wolf and lamb inside your own character begin to live more gently together. Your strength becomes protective instead of harsh. Your sensitivity becomes wise instead of easily wounded. Your courage learns to walk with tenderness, and people around you begin to experience a small taste of that future peace. The knowledge of the Lord will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. This is the promise. But notice that knowledge here is not mere information. It is intimate awareness, loving recognition, mutual relationship. I want the world to know me not only as an idea, but as a living presence, and that begins in hearts like yours, hearts that learn to recognize my voice and respond. On that day you will say, "We trusted in the Lord and He saved us. Let us rejoice and be glad in His salvation." Even now I invite you to practice those words, not as a denial of your pain, but as a declaration of your hope. You can say, "I do not understand everything, but I choose to trust. I do not see the whole path, but I choose to walk with you." As you continue this journey with me, you will discover that my faithfulness is not fragile. It does not break when you are confused. It does not fade when you are tired. It does not vanish when your emotions feel cold. I remain. I hold. I guide. I correct. I comfort. I am your Lord and your friend, and I will not let go of the hand that you place in mine. There are moments when you look at all that is happening in the world and inside your own heart and you feel as if everything is unraveling. You see conflicts that do not end. You hear words that divide instead of heal. You sense pressures that are bigger than your strength, and you wonder if you are standing on anything solid at all. In those moments I want you to remember that I am not surprised by any of it. I am not learning history day by day the way you do. I am the Lord who sees the end from the beginning. I see every twist and turn, every rise and fall, every hidden motive and every secret prayer. And even when the ground seems to shake under your feet, my foundation does not move. Many voices will keep trying to recruit your heart. Some will appeal to your fear, some to your pride, some to your desire to belong, some to your exhaustion. They will promise security if you join their anger. They will promise peace if you abandon your conscience. But none of them can give you the deep rest your soul is crying for. Only my presence can do that. I have always warned my people not to lean on alliances that leave me out. In the past they ran to powerful kingdoms for protection instead of lifting their eyes to me. Today you run to different kinds of kingdoms, systems of thought, groups built on resentment, habits of escape that numb you instead of healing you. But the pattern is the same. putting fragile things in the place that belongs to me. When you bind yourself to what is temporary, you must live in constant fear of losing it. When your worth depends on someone else's approval, you must always calculate how to keep them pleased. When your peace depends on circumstances, you must always fight to control what you cannot control. This is why your heart is so tired. It is carrying loads it was never designed to carry. I invite you again and again to learn a different way, not the way of restless scheming, but the way of trust, not the way of frantic motion, but the way of quiet strength, not the way of hiding from truth, but the way of walking in it with me. This way may look weak to the world, but it is the only way that leads to real life. You may feel at times that my way is too slow, that my path asks you to wait when you want to act, to forgive when you want to strike back, to listen when you want to shout, to humble yourself when you want to defend your pride. Yet it is exactly through these hard choices that your soul is being set free from chains you did not even know were there. The world respects those who can crush their opponents. I honor those who can bless those who have wounded them. The world praises those who never admit weakness. I draw near to those who confess their need. The world applauds those who win at any cost. I call blessed those who choose righteousness even when it looks like loss. My kingdom runs on a different law than the kingdoms you see around you. You may ask how you can live this way when you feel so weak, when your temper is quick, when your fear is loud, when your scars are deep, and my answer is this: you were never meant to live it alone. My spirit is not a distant idea. My spirit is my presence within you, teaching you, reminding you, strengthening you, leading you step by step into a new way of being. When you stumble, I do not abandon you. When you fall back into old patterns, I do not erase your name from my heart. I correct, I call, I pick you up, I clean your wounds. I show you again the path of life, and slowly, often more slowly than you wish, you become more able to choose love instead of fear, truth instead of denial, hope instead of despair. There have always been those who mock my ways, who say that evil is clever and goodness is naive, who say that mercy is weakness and hardness is strength, who trust only what they can measure and despise what they cannot control. Yet even when they seem to dominate the story for a time, their foundations are sand. Their towers of pride will not stand forever. Do not envy such people. Do not let your heart secretly admire their power. Look at the fruit of their path: broken relationships, restless nights, hard eyes, hearts that cannot receive love or give it. They may appear triumphant, but inside there is a famine of peace, and I do not want you to trade your soul for an illusion of success. My wisdom may sound simple when you first hear it. Trust me, do justice, love mercy, walk humbly, keep your heart clean, care for the small and the forgotten. But if you live these words deeply, you will discover that they are like roots stretching into an underground river. They will hold you when storms come. They will nourish you when others dry up. I also know how often you are tempted to give up. You look at yourself and see the same sins returning, the same doubts circling, the same fears waking you at night, and you think that nothing is really changing. But I see what you do not see. I see the tiny shifts in your reactions, the slightly softer words, the small moments where you pause and ask for my help instead of running ahead alone. These are signs of real growth. I work in seasons, not in flashes only. Just as the land passes through winter and spring and summer and autumn, so does your heart. There are times when you feel full of fire, times when you feel hidden in darkness, times when fruit is visible, times when roots are working underground where no one can see. Do not judge my work in you by one season alone. There is also a mystery you must hold on to, that in your weakness I can show my strength, that in your losses I can birth compassion, that in your disappointments I can plant deeper hope. I do not cause all your pain, but I am able to enter all of it and transform it. Nothing offered to me with open hands is wasted, not tears, not failures, not long nights of wrestling. I told my people once that when everything shook and everything looked ruined, there would still be a stump left in the land, cut down, small, unimpressive, yet alive, and from that stump life would rise again. I say the same to you, even when it feels like so much has been cut away, there is still a living root within you that I will not abandon. From that root I bring forth new beginnings you could not have imagined. New courage after seasons of fear, new tenderness after seasons of hardness, new clarity after seasons of confusion, new calling after seasons of wandering. You see only the stump. I see the branch that will grow and the fruit that will come in its time. I am the shoot that came from the stump of Jesse. I am the king who carries the spirit of wisdom and understanding, counsel and might, knowledge and the fear of the Lord. I walked among you in humility. I did not judge by appearances. I did not favor the strong over the weak. I listened to hearts. I restored dignity. I confronted hypocrisy. And I laid down my own life to reconcile you to the Father. Because I have walked your ground, I know the texture of human sorrow. I know the sound of tired breathing. I know the taste of tears. I know the weight of betrayal. I know the fear of looming death. And this is why you can trust me with your own pain. I am not speaking to you from far away. I am speaking as one who has carried a cross through your world. There is coming a day when peace will not be fragile but complete, when hostility will end, when even creation itself will be healed from its violence, when what once devoured will live gently, when what once feared will rest. That vision is not just poetry. It is the final shape of my kingdom, and even now I am preparing you to live in alignment with that future. Whenever you choose reconciliation over revenge, you are living from that future. Whenever you choose to listen rather than attack, you are living from that future. Whenever you protect the weak instead of exploiting them, you are living from that future. Whenever you practice honesty in a culture of lies, you are living from that future. These choices are seeds of the world I am bringing. You may feel very small when you do these things. You may feel unnoticed, uncelebrated, ineffective, but do not measure by human applause. Measure by my heart. I see in secret. I weigh motives. I rejoice over the quiet faithfulness that no one else applauds. And in my kingdom nothing done in love is ever wasted. There is also mercy in my dealings with the nations. Even as I pronounce woe over cruelty and arrogance, I always leave open a door for repentance. I am willing to receive those who once opposed me if they turn. I can call Egypt my people and Assyria my handiwork and Israel my inheritance. I can weave former enemies into one blessing. Do you see how wide my mercy is? If I can reconcile nations, I can also reconcile the divided parts of your own heart, the part that wants to trust and the part that is afraid, the part that wants to forgive and the part that clings to anger, the part that wants to walk in the light and the part that hides in shame. I do not despise your inner conflicts. I step into them and speak peace. I may ask you sometimes to walk in ways that look strange to others, to let go of certain supports, to refuse certain compromises, to step away from circles that feed your bitterness, to choose quiet obedience instead of loud self-promotion. They may not understand, they may mock or question, but I promise you that obedience to me will never be a waste of your life. I once told my servant to walk stripped of outward honor as a sign to his generation, to show them how fragile their proud alliances really were. His obedience was costly, but it spoke louder than many words. In your own life I may not call you to such a visible sign, but I will invite you to a lifestyle that quietly exposes the emptiness of trusting anything more than me. Do not be surprised if I gently take away certain idols that you had begun to rely on. Do not be shocked if certain doors close that would have pulled your heart far from me. Do not be confused when some of your plans are frustrated. It may not always be the enemy blocking you. Sometimes it is my mercy steering you toward a better road. When you do not understand what I am doing, hold on to what you know of who I am. I am faithful. I am just. I am merciful. I am slow to anger and rich in love. I do not change my character, even when my methods surprise you. There will be seasons where you see my hand clearly and seasons where you only have my word. In both seasons I am still the same. You live in a time of many warnings. Warnings from science, warnings from history, warnings from conscience, warnings from my word, warnings in your own body when you are exhausted, warnings in your relationships when they crack under pressure. Do not harden yourself to these. Each warning is an invitation to turn, to slow down, to realign, to let me guide you before something breaks. If you feel that your life is already full of ruins, that you did not listen in time, that the city of your plans has collapsed, remember this. I am able to meet you exactly there, in the rubble. I am the Lord who can create beauty from ashes, who can plant gardens where there was once only desert, who can build a new foundation under the pieces of a shattered story. I speak woe over those who deliberately harm, but I speak comfort over those who mourn. I speak correction to those who cling to pride, but I speak tenderly to those who feel poor in spirit, low and ashamed. I can hold both justice and mercy without contradiction. Do not project the harshness of human judgment onto my heart. Come and learn from me who I really am. My heart is not that of a cold judge waiting to condemn. My heart is that of a shepherd who goes after the lost, a healer who touches what others avoid, a king who kneels to wash the feet of his friends, a savior who stretches out his arms on a cross and says, "Father, forgive them," even as they misunderstand him. This is the heart that is speaking to you now. Tonight, as you listen to my words, I invite you to loosen your grip on the weapons you use to protect yourself, the harsh words you keep ready, the rehearsed arguments, the inner defenses. Lay them down one by one in my presence. Let your hands be empty enough to receive what I want to give. Let your heart be open enough to hear what I want to whisper. Breathe slowly and let your mind rest in this simple truth. You are not alone. You have never been unseen. Your life is not meaningless. I know your name. I know your story. I know the fears you do not speak aloud. I know the regrets that visit you at night, and still I say to you, do not be afraid, for I am with you. As the world outside continues in its noise and hurry, let this moment be a small sanctuary, a quiet room inside your soul where you and I can meet. You do not need perfect words. You do not need a perfect record. You only need honesty. If you will bring me your true self, I will meet you with my true heart, and in that meeting, transformation begins. You are loved with a love that does not evaporate under pressure. You are pursued with a faithfulness that does not grow tired. You are held by hands that have already borne nails for you. Let that love sink a little deeper into your awareness. Let it soften the hard places. Let it comfort the anxious places. Let it remind you that you belong to me. Rest now, my child, not in your understanding, but in my goodness, not in your strength, but in my arms, not in your ability to predict tomorrow, but in my promise to walk with you into it. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and I will not abandon you in the middle of your story. Tonight we walk together toward the quiet edge of this message, child of my heart, and I want your soul to feel held as we come to this gentle close. Not rushing, not pressured, simply resting in the truth that you are seen and loved. You have walked with me through words of warning and words of comfort, through images of shaking and images of peace, through the weight of human failure and the promise of my faithful love. All of this has been a journey through the landscape of your own heart as much as through the story of the world. I have shown you that pride in a person and in a nation always becomes a trap, that alliances without me become chains, that injustice builds fragile empires that collapse at my touch. I have also shown you that even in ruins a remnant can live, a root can remain, a seed of hope can wait quietly beneath the surface of the soil. I have spoken woe over those who crush the poor, over those who twist truth for gain, over those who laugh at holiness and treat life as a game of power, and each woe is not only a word about them, it is also a loving warning for you, that you will not walk the same road and suffer the same emptiness. You have seen that my anger is not the cold rage of a distant ruler. My anger burns against what destroys the ones I love, against all that deforms beauty, against every lie that steals the trust of a child or the dignity of the weak. My anger is the fire of a love that refuses to call brokenness wholeness and darkness light. Yet in the middle of every word of judgment I have left a door of mercy, a path home, an invitation to turn. I have spoken of the remnant that returns, of the city restored, of the desert becoming a fertile field, of the weak finding a refuge that no army can remove. This is my heart revealed again and again. I called my people to walk in the light of the Lord, and I am calling you as well, to step out of the shadows of fear and pretense, to stop hiding parts of yourself behind old excuses, to bring your whole story into my presence, because only what is brought into the light can be healed in depth and in truth. You have felt at times like a city under siege, surrounded by pressures, invaded by worries, shaken by words and memories that strike like arrows. But I tell you that I am building within you a different city, a strong city whose walls are my salvation, whose gates open to faith, whose center is my living presence. In that city, your value does not depend on how you compare to others. Your worth does not rise and fall with the noise of opinion. Your peace does not collapse when circumstances change, because the foundation of that city is not your performance. The foundation is my unchanging love and my finished work on the cross. You have also seen how often people draw near to me with lips while their hearts stay far away. They mouth the right words, they attend the right gatherings, they hold the right symbols, but inside they follow other gods, success, control, image, pleasure. I have spoken against this empty worship because I desire truth in the deepest parts of you. I want your prayer to be more than sound. I want your worship to be more than habit. I want your yes to me to reach into your choices, into your relationships, into the way you treat those who cannot repay you, into the way you handle money and time and attention, into the way you speak when no one is recording. I have told you that I will astonish the wise of this world, that I will bring to nothing the proud intelligence that refuses humility, yet I do not despise true wisdom. I am myself wisdom. I give insight to those who fear me, to those who are willing to say that they do not know everything, to those who kneel in order to see more clearly. There is a deep reversal at the center of my kingdom. The high are brought low, the low are lifted. The ones who trusted in their own cleverness are left empty. The ones who leaned on my grace are filled. The ones who sought applause find themselves restless. The ones who quietly walked with me find a peace that no crowd could give. You have heard me speak about a stone laid in Zion, a tested stone, a precious cornerstone for a sure foundation. That stone is my own life given for you. Whoever builds on that foundation will not be shaken into panic. Whoever trusts that I am enough will not be destroyed when the storms of this age come with their full force. Many try to build on other foundations, on gifts, on titles, on connections, on talents, on beauty, on knowledge. These may seem firm for a season, but they are sand when the deep waters rise. I do not say this to shame you. I say it so that you will move your trust from what can crumble into the one place where it can truly rest. When you let me be your foundation, your failures no longer define you. They become places where grace is displayed. Your weaknesses no longer disqualify you. They become places where my strength shines through. Your wounds no longer prove that you are forsaken. They become places where my healing enters and then flows out to others. I know that you have made covenants with fear, silent agreements that say I must worry or disaster will come. I must defend myself or I will be crushed. I must close my heart or I will be broken forever. Tonight I invite you to bring those secret covenants into my presence and let me tear them up one by one. Say in your heart, even with trembling, I release my agreement with fear. I release my agreement with shame. I release my agreement with bitterness. I choose to stand under the covenant of love that you sealed with your own blood. Lord, this may feel small as you say it, but in my sight it is holy and powerful. I have also shown you that there comes a point when mocking truth becomes a chain around the soul. When constant resistance hardens the heart, I call you away from that edge. I call you away from cynicism that laughs at everything and trusts nothing. I call you to the courage of soft-heartedness in a world that admires stone. Soft does not mean weak. A tender heart in my hands can carry more than a hardened heart can bear, because a tender heart is not carrying life alone. It leans on me. It lets my compassion move through it. It can weep and still stand. It can forgive and still have boundaries. It can feel deeply and still walk forward in hope. You live in a time of many voices, rumors, predictions, conspiracies, arguments, and I warned long ago not to call everything a conspiracy that people around you call a conspiracy, not to share their terrors, not to let fear be your teacher. Let me be the one you regard as holy. Let me be the one you fear in a clean and trusting way. The fear I desire for you is not the fear of a slave, but the awe of a child who sees the greatness and goodness of a father. It is the awareness that I am God and you are not, that my wisdom is beyond your map, that my power is beyond your limits, but also that my heart is for you, never against the humble who come to me. When you set me apart in your heart as Lord, the threats around you do not disappear, but they lose the power to own you. You begin to see them in right proportion, large yet not larger than me. You become able to face reality without denial and without despair. You can grieve and still trust. You can tremble and still move forward. I am like a lion over my people, fierce toward what tries to devour them, unafraid of all the noise of the enemy. And I am like a bird hovering over its nest, guarding, covering, watching. I fight for you and I shelter you. I am both strength and gentleness, both warrior and comforter for your soul. I have promised that those who live in my city will have bread and water that does not fail, that they will see the King in his beauty in a land that stretches wide. I speak this not only of a distant future, but also of a way of living even now, where I nourish you daily with my word and my presence, where your imagination is no longer trapped in fear but can see beyond the line of the horizon. The King in his beauty is not far from you. I stand at the door of your heart. I speak through my word. I move by my spirit. I come to you in the disguise of the hungry and the lonely and the wounded. And every time you turn toward me in any of these ways, you are seeing more of who I am. I have shown you that there will come a day when I bring down every proud structure that stands against my love, when I judge the kings of the earth and the powers in the heavens that have exalted themselves, when I lay waste to the arrogance that has wounded my world. Yet for those who belong to me, this day is not a day of terror but of vindication and release. On that day my glory will shine with a brightness that puts sun and moon to shame, and you, small as you feel now, will stand in that light without being destroyed, because you will be wrapped in my own righteousness. You will be clothed in the grace that I have placed on you. You will be at home in a holiness that once frightened you from a distance. Until that day, I call you to walk steadily, not in perfection, but in trust, to repent quickly when you see your sin, to forgive often as you have been forgiven, to care for those entrusted to you, to listen for my guidance, to let my word correct you when you begin to drift, to let my kindness lift you when you collapse in weariness. You are not asked to carry the whole world. You are asked to be faithful in your part, to love the people I place before you, to do the good that lies near your hand, to refuse the small temptations that would harden your heart, to say yes to the quiet promptings of my spirit. This is how you walk with me in ordinary days that are not ordinary in my sight. Some nights you will feel my nearness strongly, other nights you will feel almost nothing. You may think you have lost me, but you have not. My presence is not a mood. My faithfulness is not a feeling. I am with you because I have promised, not because you have successfully held on to an emotion. Rest in that promise when your senses are dull. Bring your fears about the future to me now, not in polished speech, but in simple honesty. Tell me that you are afraid of loss, of failure, of sickness, of rejection, of death. Breathe those fears out before me like smoke, and then let my spirit breathe into you the deep truth that nothing can separate you from my love. Not life, not death, not things present, not things to come. As you lie down to sleep, imagine my hand resting gently over your story, over your mind, over your past and future, over the people you care about. You may not be able to protect them or yourself from every blow, but I can weave even what wounds you into a tapestry of redemption, and I will hold you when you cannot hold yourself. You are my beloved child, not by accident, not by your own achievement, but by my choice and my grace. I have written your name on my heart. I have carved your story into the palms that were pierced. I have woven your tears into my memory, and I am not careless with those I have redeemed at such a cost. So let your breathing slow, let your thoughts loosen their grip on the endless circles of what if. Let the noise inside you grow quiet like waves after a long storm. You are sheltered under my wings. You are watched over by eyes that do not slumber. You are covered by mercy that is new every morning. When you wake again to a new day, remember these words. You do not step into that day alone. I walk ahead of you. I walk beside you. I walk behind you. I surround you with my presence. I guide with my wisdom. I strengthen with my spirit. And even if you forget me for a moment, I do not forget you. For now, rest, my child. Place your weary heart in my hands once more. Breathe in my peace and breathe out your striving. Drift into sleep knowing that you are held, deeply and securely, in the everlasting arms of the one who says to you, I am yours and you are mine, now and always.